Good evening, everyone. How are you? It is Tuesday, and I wanted to come on tonight and talk to you all about empowerment because as we move through this 1111 portal, we're all being brought to some sort of empowerment in our lives. And for some of us, this is going to be really uncomfortable energy that we're being brought to. And in the past couple of weeks, I've been inspired, spirit inspired action to bring to you different teachings, downloads that I've received of information. So, good evening, everyone. I am Melissa L. Watkins. Um, you can call me medium, you can call me channeler, you can call me energy healer. But tonight, what I want to do is talk to you. You can label me whatever works for you. Labels really aren't important. What's important is that we're coming into connection with spirit, with our higher selves, with the dimensional shift that is happening in our world on this planet at this time. And many people call it stepping into the fifth dimension. Eckhart Tolle called it the new earth in his book. So, a lot of these energies that are happening now are energies that are very different. And it really is compelling and propelling many of us to rise, to ascend, and to awaken. And so I've been working these past few years with people who have been feeling a shift in their own lives, coming into connection with spirit, their higher selves, whatever you want to call it, the angels, the ascended masters, crossed over loved ones, Christ consciousness. But at the end of the day, we're recognizing that we have senses above and beyond just our five senses. And for many of us, we're being brought to this information in ourselves in very individual and unique ways, but we need help. We need someone who's been through this that can help us. And that honestly is what has really transpired in my own life because when this all started for me in 2017, coming up on a decade of this transformation that I've been going through, I was alone. I was isolated. I had no one. I had my journal. I had one person who really taught me meditation, and it could mean many different things. But I really worked through spirit in journaling and dreams and ideas and just being brought things, whether it was through my Facebook page, whether it was scrolling through Instagram or YouTube, spirit really just putting the right things in front of me. When I started to put together my mediumship course, I literally said to spirit, "Okay, I'm just stepping into this role myself, and you want me to teach others. Okay, but you've got to help me. How do I do that?" Right? And they did. They brought me two books. That night showed up on Amazon recommends for you, and I thought, "Okay, spirit, I hear you." Right? But for many of you, there isn't that maybe ease in which you can read the signs or you can trust and act on what you're receiving. What I didn't realize in my own experience was that I had been doing that for many, many years because of my faith that I was given at a very early age through my Catholic religion. Um, so I've retained the faith and I've retained my connection, but I've let go of the religion rule part, right? But I learned very early that God is real, that your angels are real, that your ascended masters are real, that your crossed over loved ones do visit you and help you, inspire you, and come to give you unconditional love. And for some of us, unconditional love is something we're not comfortable with, we're not used to. So tonight I wanted to come on and talk about empower you, how to empower yourself. And also that if you noticed on my website, a lot of the information has changed. And one of the things that has changed is I will be now offering angelic guidance. So tapping into your higher self, tapping into the angels versus doing the more medium work. Because that's where I feel like people really want to know, how do I tap into my own angelic connection? How do I tap into my own higher self, or to know spirit the way that you do, right? So I feel like that's one of the things that has is really changing. And also the 30-minute session now is going to be a wellness guidance. Again, many people come to me and they know they're blocked. They know they're stuck. They don't know how. They don't know how to get through it. They don't know how to get past it. They don't know what to do about it. They just know things in their life are not what they want. So that's where I'll be using, again, the ability to tap into your higher self, or look at your past lives. Because what I have found in the past several years is when I do past life readings for people, basically the past lives that come through are the ones that are informing this lifetime. Things that you're karmically releasing in this lifetime, things that you are ready to let go of. Time after time, lifetime after lifetime, you've been through it, and this is the lifetime where it's coming to a head, and you're releasing it. So, in this uh, shift, ever since 2012, with the harmonic convergence and the energies really aligning into um, allowing the divine feminine to rise up and balance out the divine masculine. We're not negating or getting rid of the divine masculine, but we're balancing it out, and that's what's going on with these energy shifts and what you're experiencing. And this 1111 portal was very. It's not something that I feel like is going to end. I feel like you're going to go through it when you're ready, and I feel that a lot of you may need help to get to a place where you feel like you're in alignment with your spirit guides or your purpose, right? And so that 30-minute session, the wellness guidance session, will answer that for a lot of people. What is my purpose? And then, what steps do I take towards my purpose, right? So these are the new offerings that I've got going on. But tonight I wanted to talk about how you can empower yourself. And about a month ago now, I get, sometimes when I'm journaling, I just get these downloads, and all of a sudden, I was just journaling these steps, and it became 8 steps to basically empower yourself. So your self healing journey is a self healing journey. Your healing journey is a self healing journey at some point. You may reach out for Reiki, you may reach out for integrated energy therapy, you may reach out for other modalities, right? You may reach out for Western medicine. I'm not a medical provider and I'm not giving medical advice. I'm going to say it all works together, right? But what I'm being brought is that it's time. It's time to empower ourselves. And whether you're working with me and a healing journey, and I do want to kind of talk about that a little bit tonight, but I think we're gonna couch that. We're gonna put that to the end, because I want to talk about how and what you can do to support yourself. Because many people don't know how to support themselves. Many people don't know what to do. They just know they're stuck. They just know there's a blockage. They just know they don't know how to move past it. They keep embodying the same patterns in relationships. They keep getting into the same disrespectful in relationships with family, friends, coworkers, uh, relationships. Romantic partners. So, what can we do? What can we do? And there are many things, and these are the things that Spirit brought to me that I'm going to share with you. Um, who I channel in my journaling is typically Archangel Metatron. If it's someone else, they will tell me that it is someone else. But yeah, I do feel like this came from Archangel Metatron. And the one thing that really came to me right off the bat, and I was like, wow, I don't even do this. And I thought it was really, really beautiful. But are you celebrating your small victories? We're all looking for the big aha moment. We're all looking for the just take this and make it go away so I can get to what I want, right? It doesn't work that way, guys. I'm so sorry, but it's a journey. It is a process. Because if they did it all at once, you would be a puddle, an emotional puddle that couldn't function. And many of you have jobs, many of you have families, many of you have responsibilities. So you can't be a puddle. You can't take a sabbatical of, 2 or 3 years to deal with whatever's coming up. And sometimes it takes that long, and that's the other thing that people get really bogged down on. Guys, it didn't take you a couple of months to get to a situation where you're in despair. It didn't take you a couple of months. Many of you, it's been lifetimes, and you're like, "I just wanna get through this in, in 3 months or in 6 months." No, it's not gonna work that way. Like, I'm still, right, going through layers. I had someone contact me earlier this week and was like, "I feel like I've been through this, or I've been through this role. I've done this. Like, why is am I doing it again?" It's the next layer. It's the way it works. So this isn't something that's gonna happen one and done. Whatever you're doing, right? So you've got to celebrate the small victories. The other thing too is whatever you're doing, you gotta give it a chance to work. You can't celebrate the small victories if you keep hopping from one modality to the next, right? You're going from, one provider to another modality to another modality, and you keep saying, "Well, it's not working." No, you haven't given it time. That's one of the things that I talk about is the integration process, and that's why it's called integrated energy therapy, and that's why you have Reiki practitioners that you continue to see, or, you go to talk therapy, or you go to counseling, or whatever it is, right? You need support on a continuous basis because we didn't get here quickly. We didn't arrive to being in despair, broken, lost, not having what we need. Many of you find yourselves homeless and penniless and brokenhearted and alone. And part of it is because it is being on a journey that you're really going to start to walk through the steps it's going to take to heal. You have to do part of it, most of it alone, right? People aren't going to understand what you're going through. They have their own story. They have their own experience. They don't they may be able to, on some level, empathize with you, but at the end of the day, no one's really truly walked in your shoes, and sometimes we don't give the people around us that grace either. We just want people to pony up and stand up and be there for us and right our wrongs, and, and maybe people have negatively impacted you, maybe they have done you dirty, right? You can't change them. All you can do is change your response to them. And that's what celebrating the small victories is all about. Where have you changed your response? Where have you not engaged? Where have you allowed yourself to respect yourself and be there for yourself in a way that maybe you've never been there before for yourself? Speaking up for yourself. Many of these traumas that you deal with, you've suffered in silence. And especially for those of you who had some real traumatic abuse situations, you suffered in silence. For some of you, you suffered in silence because to talk about it was embarrassing, or you felt like you were disrespecting the people who were the perpetrators, the I'm thinking of like alcoholic parents, right? You don't want to out your parents. You love your parents, but you know that what you're going through at home isn't okay. It's not normal, right? Um, so whatever the abuse is, whatever the effects are, whether it's addiction, sexual abuse, verbal abuse, emotional abuse, narcissistic abuse, whatever your story is, and everybody's story is unique. Everybody's story is unique in the, I was gonna say in like the level of it, but whatever your story is, it's important to you, so it doesn't really matter how it compares to other people, right? Yeah, Lori. Oh, absolutely, to the puddle. Mhm. So you have to celebrate the small victories, but you can't do that. You can't have a small victory until you commit. You commit to a modality, you commit to a practitioner, you commit to, and I'm not saying stay with someone that doesn't work for you. I'm just saying, are you giving people a chance? Are you giving it a chance? Whatever it is, right? Are you really giving it a chance? Or are you getting so despondent because you're like, well, I tried that for 3 months, or oh, I tried that once or twice, it didn't work, right? Hello? You got to give it a chance. So And that just means that you're not trusting God at the end of the day. Like, if you've got something where you have felt a small victory, it was working. It was working. Even if you can't put your finger on what that victory is, are you feeling better? Are you more able? Are you more in control? That's a small victory. Are you not responding the way you used to respond? Are you able to be clearer thinking? Like, you have to take all the small victories, not just the ones that are giving you what you want, because they're all the small victories lead to what you want, guys. That's how it ends. Like, you start stringing the small victories up, and it's like, wow, I got the thing. I got the thing. I got the career. I got the partner. I got the financial stability. I got the weight lifted off of me. I can breathe now. I can take the time to go and do the things I want to go and do and not feel guilty about it. So you've got to stay in whatever you choose to get to that small victory. You've got to give it a chance, a real fighting chance. And sometimes that is years. Sometimes that is many, many months. Because this is all going to happen in small increments. This is all going to happen step by step by step. Just the way your connection to spirit happens step by step by step. Because if they came in all at once, it would be so overwhelming, you'd think you were going crazy because you'd be feeling things you didn't understand. You'd be seeing things you didn't understand. You'd be hearing things you didn't understand. You'd literally think you were going schizophrenic. Like, what the hell is going on? That's why all of this is subtle. So you can lean into it. You can trust it. And how do you know this? How you have a small victory? You're reflecting. You're reflecting all the time. You're reflecting about how you felt yesterday. You're reflecting on how you handled that situation in the past versus how you handled it today. The reflection piece, I can't stress it enough. It is so important. If you don't know where you are today, you won't know where you've been yesterday. And if you don't know where you were yesterday, how can you know that today was better? Because sometimes, and our psyche does this to protect us. It helps us to minimize how bad it was. It helps us to forget bad things that have happened, right? But if you're journaling it, you're writing it down, or you're video vlogging it, however is comfortable for you to record your emotions and your experiences, find the work modality that works for you. But it's important that you do the reflection, because you can't know where you are if you don't know where you've been. And how do you get where you want to go if you don't know what's informing the decisions? Very, very important, the reflection piece. When I do in the past, when I've done IET sessions, and now when I'm doing the Empower Me Now sessions or the Empower Energy sessions, the Empower Me Now is the package. I do send an attachment that has a list of journal prompts on it to help those of you who aren't good at reflecting or good at thinking about thinking or what you're feeling, right? Maybe it's not something you've ever really done, sat down and really thought about how you feel about something or how you think about something, right? So those prompts are there for the reflection piece because it's so important. It's so important. So again, the reflection, how you're doing it, not important. That you're doing it, very important. Are you using journal prompts? Are you using vlogs? Are you using whatever? That's the important piece. Excuse me, guys. I am on video. People are watching me. Go with mommy. So the reflection piece is really, really important. The truth is the relief comes in waves, and sometimes we miss experiencing the wave because it is subtle. And that's why we have to know where we've been to know where we're going. We can't sometimes, we don't see or experience the subtlety because we're so focused on what we're not having or what we're not getting or what we're not doing. And so that's why it's so important. It's so important for the reflection because, again, all of this is subtle and it takes time. And when you're going through big emotion, you're going through big trauma, you're going through big experiences or have had big experiences that are overwhelming you, you can miss the subtlety. You can miss the small wins, the small gains. So really important that you're doing the reflection piece. So some of the things that you can do that are absolutely free, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, I've used all of this stuff. So it was really interesting when Archangel Metatron was kind of listing this out for me. I'm like, oh, thank you. You're just basically outlining what I've been going through for the past decade. It was really kind of cool because it just flowed. But using positive affirmations. So the science is out there that we have a program that is running at our subconscious level that was informed or built between the ages of 0 and 7. And sometimes you don't know from age 0 to 3 what you experienced or what that programming became because you don't have those memories, right? So sometimes there's programming in there that you're not even really aware of. Case in point, my very first IET session was shocking to me because when she got to one point, it really felt like as she was pulling that energy out of me, that this knife was coming out from between my ribs. And I was like, oh my gosh, that was uncomfortable. Like to the point where I would say could have been slightly painful. And it was resentment. And I did not realize that I had that resentment programming running because I had gained it at such an early age. So sometimes we don't know what that program is. I was actually yesterday on a call with someone and she was like, I don't know why I keep manifesting these bad situations, right? She's like, I'm a good person. I do all these good things. Why am I still manifesting these really bad situations, right? I'm not getting what I want. Like, why am I not getting what I want? I'm a good person. I do good deeds. Why am I not getting what I want? And basically it was, and I tried to help her understand that it was the programming, the negative programming that was running subconsciously that was manifesting continual experiences that were going to match that vibrational frequency, right? So even though she was such a good person and she's doing all these great things, that those experiences that were ingrained in her subconscious were keeping her from being able to manifest what she wanted. We have to change that programming, guys. And this is how you do it. You listen to positive affirmations and Hertz frequency music to help reprogram that subconscious. And if you listen to it at night, you're getting in the theta brain wave state that's going to do the transforming, the transformation. So you can do this on your own. You can do this whenever you want. You can do this tonight. You can start. So you can get these meditations and these Hertz musics and the affirmations, positive affirmations, right on YouTube. And you literally just let them run. You can use earbuds, you can use earphones, but if that's not comfortable to sleep, then just have it right next to you playing and just let it play, because what it's doing is it's getting in that theta brain wave and it's changing whatever that negative programming is back into positive, right? And you can use different affirmations every night. You can use the same affirmation over and over and over again, right? So I think that the science research out there is to change how we do things. It takes 21 days of consistent effort, right? So I would say find something that you really like and use it for 21 days and then see how your life starts to change and unfold, even though you really haven't done anything different except that, right? So that's something that I still use, to be honest with you. I still use meditation and prayer. And meditation, again, can look very different for each and every one of you. Absolutely. Sometimes meditation can be blaring your music going down the highway, right? Sometimes meditation can be laying in bed listening to guided meditation with earbuds. Sometimes meditation can be simply listening to water run out in nature, or the birds chirping, or the wind in the leaves. Whatever meditation looks like for you. Some people, it is going to be sitting in a room silently in the dark and just, working on not thinking. I struggle with that. Um, whatever works. Using the Hertz music for the meditation also really, really helps. Prayer, invoking. We live in a dualistic world, dualistic energies. So the other thing that we came in is free will. So to have what we want, we have to invoke our spirit team. We have to ask them to help us. We truly, truly do. Because they're waiting in the wings. They're with you all the time. They want to help, right? I call it the shortcut, right? They see the way to go. They see all the different choices and decisions and how they can play out, and they can guide you to the easiest, simplest one, which I call the shortcut, right? And so invoking them, prayer, intention, right? That's all you got to do. You just have to ask them to come in. You just have to, um, you know, throw out the prayer to God or your Godhead or whatever God looks like for you. Invoke your angels, your guides, your crossed over loved ones. Really be. You have to build the conversation. You have to build the relationship. You have to think about these players in these higher realms or other dimensions, just like you think about your best friend or your family members or anybody else who is in your life that wants to help you, right? They want to help you. They're ready. They're chomping at the bit, but you got to ask. You got to ask. You got to invoke, you got to intend, right? And the more you build that relationship with them and thank them when you receive what it was you wanted or the help that you needed, right? And be open to how it's going to receive. It's not going to come in the way you think it's going to. I promise you. It's going to come in unexpected. It's going to come in the way you least expect it. It may be even from an avenue that you didn't even want it to come from, right? You have to be open. You have to be open to how it's going to come in because they're going to show it up. They're going to bring it. They're going to bring it good. They're going to bring it fast. They're going to bring it. Are you open to receiving it? If you're only looking for it from one direction, you're going to miss it coming from the other direction. So this is where you have to surrender. You got to surrender. You got to say, okay, I'm taking my hands off the wheel. I'm going to let go of the expectation of how it's going to come in or how I think it should come in. And I'm going to be open to how it is showing up. And then the magic happens. The other thing you got to let go of is when. It's not going to happen when you think it's going to or when you want it to. It's going to happen when it's divine timing. Divine timing is right timing, guys. And I know it's frustrating and I know it flipping stinks. It's how it works. It's how it works. You've got to be open to the how and the when. And it literally, Jesus, take the wheel. Because I don't have the answers. I don't have the resources. I don't have the opportunities. I'm destitute. I'm defunct. I'm broken. I don't have what I need. I don't know how to get what I need. Let them bring it to you. Because they will. And that actually covered number 5 too, your higher power. Yeah. So forgiveness. It's a frequency. It's a frequency. Really, really important frequency. We, at least for myself, as humans, I think we get stuck on this concept of forgiveness. We don't see it as a frequency. We see it as a get out of jail free card, and it's not. Because really what it's doing is letting you off the hook. Whatever did you dirty, whatever wasn't there for you, however you got hurt. By holding on to it, and I learned this in my own life because I was holding on to a lot of anger that was really negatively impacting me. Go back to that resentment, right? But my biological father was what my mother would term a poor soul. He was an alcoholic. He'd had a injury that was very he lost the use of one of his hands. He got on disability and he drank. He lived above a bar. He worked at the bar sometimes, but mostly he sat at the bar. If I wanted to see him or have a relationship with him, I had to go to the bar. True story. I didn't really have a relationship with him, to be honest with you. My mother called him a poor soul. He was a poor soul, but boy, I was angry. I was angry. He didn't ever show up to any of my things. He didn't financially support me. It was, back in the day before, child support was as prominent as it is now. She actually signed off on, the little bit he would have been responsible for out of his Social Security check. So she was like, let's just let him keep it. And, my stepfather stepped up to the plate. I didn't go without. Please don't think I went without. But I was angry that this person who was my father for the first 5 years of my life, I knew he was my father, had nothing to do with me, was not responsible for me any way, shape, or form. I was angry. So I didn't forgive him. Why would I forgive him? He doesn't deserve to be forgiven. I did not realize this frequency was for myself, so that I could let myself off the hook, so that I could move on in my own life and be open to giving and receiving love in a way that that anger was keeping me from. I was not giving and receiving love because this one person who was supposed to love me unconditionally did not, would not. And that was painful. That was painful. So you got to get to a place where you understand you're giving yourself the forgiveness. It's for you. It's not for anybody else. Gratitude. Holy cow. Gratitude saved my life. I read Wayne Dyer's book when I was destitute. I was broke. I had no real means of making money. I'd lost my ability to teach. I was homeless for the most part. It was bad. It was very, very bad. So it was 10 things every day I was grateful for. I started the 21-day challenge that was in his book, and I was like, I got nothing to lose. I literally have nothing to lose. And I did it. And it literally was not even 2 weeks later that I was being offered a job that turned into the thing that got me out of my situation. I can't say enough about gratitude because again, it's an energy that takes whatever trauma you've got or whatever heaviness that's weighing you down, and that gratitude just it shoots you up energetically into the higher frequencies so that you can manifest, so that you can draw to you the things that will be beneficial and helpful until you can get to a place where you can unburden and change the energy signature that you're carrying. Change the energy signature that you're carrying. And then 8, allowing grace and love in all relationships. And setting boundaries. I would also say discernment. Discernment is a really, really important one. When you get to the step of receiving discernment from the work that you're doing, discernment is then being able to judge for yourself based on your own morals, your own principles, your own makeup, what is good or not good for you. And when you do that, when you can then allow the grace and the love in, because you can discern for yourself what you do or do not want. Really, really important. And again, you have to stick to the program. You got to stick to the program. And if you're doing these things on some level and it's still the hurdle is there, and this is where I was, guys. The hurdle was still there. I knew I wasn't manifesting to the ability that I wanted to. I knew I still didn't have the things in my life that were really what I were wanting, the safety and the stability, the things that were going to really make my root chakra happy. I couldn't do that on my own. I was doing all the things. I was meditating. I was trying to forgive. I was getting in gratitude. Things were starting to move, but they still weren't moving to the level that I wanted. That's when I manifested integrated energy therapy. It was brought to me by spirit. It was given to me through spirit. And it is the thing that has changed everything in my life. And that's why this Empower Energy session that I'm now doing that incorporates the integrated energy therapy and the Reiki, I feel like is such a comprehensive energy healing session because we're working with your innate ability to heal yourself. So we're working with that part of you that is your healing ability. It's actually your healing guide through Reiki, your chi or your prana. And then we're also using the 8 archangels that are the integrated energy therapy angels. So we have Archangel Ariel, who heads it up. We have Archangel Raphael, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Michael, Archangel Celestina, Archangel Caziel, Archangel Faith, Archangel Sarah, and Archangel Daniel. So there's more than 8. And then whoever else wants to come in. So every individual session, if you already are working with an archangel or an ascended master, they come in. I've had beautiful sessions that Archangel Metatron's been in. Archangel Sandalphon is a frequent flyer. Jesus, Mary, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Serapis Bey, Melchizedek. We've had some heavy hitters in some sessions, guys. Not gonna lie, it's been amazing. It's truly amazing. And what integrated energy therapy does is they go in and they transform the issues in your tissues. They help to root out the things that you're physically carrying energetically from the traumas and dramas that you've been undergoing. Past lives, generational karma that you brought into this life to clear your own traumas and dramas from this lifetime. So that's why integrated energy therapy is so profound, so subtle, but so important to me. And that's why I really felt like I wanted to talk about this tonight, because I felt like this conversation could help more people than just doing individual card readings. Yes, I know that that can be beneficial for you. And I know that those messages do come through that will help the most people. But at the end of the day, you're getting into connection with your own team of guides, angels, and ascended masters is the best way I can help you. That is the most amazing way I can help you, so that you can start to hear, feel, see, and know your own team, your own guides, your own ascended masters, your own archangels who have been with you and want to be with you and have the help that you need, so that you can hear, feel, see, know them, and build that relationship with them. And that is one of the byproducts of integrated energy therapy. When you start to raise your frequency because you're releasing the negative and you're integrating back in the positive, whatever it is, right? Abandonment, resentment, threat, woulda, coulda, shoulda. Your divine feminine, powerlessness, unworthiness, your divine masculine, anger. You start to let the angels transform that for you. Shame, oh my gosh, I can't tell you. Shame in your throat chakra. Shame is where you carry, throat chakra is where you carry your shame. I can't tell you. Third eye openings. Third eye openings. Yeah. So integrated energy therapy is beautiful. It's profound. It's amazing. It's subtle. It's profound. It's subtle. That's why these steps, these 8 steps are so important, because so many people have a hard time with the subtleness of integrated energy therapy. And so I know it's working. And I know that a lot of folks out there who've had sessions in the past who didn't think it really worked, like they've come back to me and been like, okay, now I get it. Now I get it. Now I see where I'm being different, or I'm feeling different, or things are happening differently. And that's okay. Everybody's journey is different. Everybody's journey is absolutely different. So if you have any questions about integrated energy therapy or these Empower Energy sessions or the Empower Me Now package, I also have the free 20-minute session that you can book, so we can have that conversation, especially if you're someone that you just have been following me, you don't really know me. You know, sometimes when I meet people, it's different, right? It's a different energy. And sometimes you don't resonate with people, and that's okay. And I would rather know that in that call than to have you book a session and then realize like we're not a good fit for whatever reason, right? It's okay. I get it. It's totally okay. But I really, really, really want to help those of you who are ready to invest in yourself, invest in your healing, the time, the energy. Yes, the fair exchange, but you have to commit. You have to commit to yourself. And when you have been someone who's always put somebody else first, taking care of others to the nth degree, it can be really, really hard to take that time and energy for yourself. Give yourself the space and the grace that you deserve. I get it. I totally get it. And then for some of you, it's like, there are things I don't want to deal with. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to feel it again, right? And that's what's beautiful about the IET. If it's something that was really truly traumatizing, you won't re-experience it. The angels won't allow you to re-experience it. When I first started doing this work, there were sessions that I would get done with, and I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, I felt nothing in that session." Like literally, I felt like I was going through the motions, right? And then I was teaching it, and I read in one of the books, they were like, "Yeah, if you don't experience anything in a session, it's because whatever was coming up was going to be too traumatizing for the person to re-experience." And I was like, "That makes sense. That makes sense. Holy cow." So I just want you to know that if it's something that's really, really scary or really, really hard or something you've been really, really carrying for a long time, let the angels do the heavy lifting. They want to do the heavy lifting because they're here to help us to unburden ourselves, to become the most authentic version of ourselves we came here to be, to transmute these negative energies. And for many of you, empaths, light workers, star seeds, indigo children, spiritual warrior, whatever your tag is, your mission has been hard. Your purpose is big. And that's why I'm being called to do this work. And that was why I was being called very early on to put myself out there to help because and that's what I said to spirit. I'm like, I'm just going through it myself. Why do you want me to like how can I help other people? I'm just going through this. And they're like, because you've been through it and you're still close enough to where they are that you can truly help them. You can relate to them. And I hope that's true. And I hope that's true because I truly do love what I do. And I'm really looking forward to 2025 with how spirit is inspiring me to go forward in this new paradigm, helping those of you who are really struggling with what's going on within you, whether it's the traumas and dramas or whether it's the connection to spirit that you don't understand and you need someone to help you figure out what it is you're experiencing. Because one of the things that's beautiful about this is when spirit starts coming in one way and you kind of get comfortable with that way, then they start coming in another way. So at the beginning of this, I said you'd feel kind of crazy if all of a sudden you were feeling, seeing, hearing, knowing stuff all at once from spirit, right? So that's what's really cool. Like if you start hearing things and you get comfortable, oh, I know that's my spirit guide. Okay, they're giving me a message. Then you'll start another modality, right? And maybe you'll start seeing things or maybe you'll start feeling things. So it's beautiful, but it's a lot. It's intense. Um, and it can be lonely. Like, who do you go and talk to this about, right? Like, I'm having these amazing experiences, or I'm having these really uncertain experiences, or I'm not really sure what's going on. Who do you go? Where do you go? Where do you go and ask those questions, right? Especially if you're in a part of the society that is totally not open to this, right? So, for those of you who are really looking for community, you can always check out my Living in Love community, which is exactly what it's all about, sharing our experiences and helping each other grow and evolve. And then the healing. And that's something that we would do one on one. And I also do in my group. We do it once a month as a group. So that's where we're going this year, guys. Let's go. Let's help each other evolve, right? Help each other grow. So if this is something that you're being drawn to, if this is something you have questions about, if this is something you want more information on, head over to my website, reach out. You can email me, you can chat with me. But yeah, it's time. It's time to get you to a place where you are ready to grow, evolve, and expand. And that's what this is all about. And that's what we're going. This is what the 1111 portal was doing. If you've come through that portal, it's because it's go time. It's go time. If you're not sure you've been through the portal, that's okay. The portal will be ready and it'll be there when you're ready to go through it. But if you're really struggling because you're holding on to some really tough stuff, that's where I would encourage you to reach out. So that's what I have for you all tonight. And I truly appreciate for all of you being here. Thank you for the likes, the shares, the comments. Thank you. Oh, I love it, Lori. Yes, like going back to work after you thought you were tired. Yeah. This is the new work. This is the beautiful work. Thank you, Cynthia. IET is an amazing therapy. I'm extremely satisfied with the sessions I've had. For me, it was a healing emotionally, physically, and spiritually. So thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. So the website's melissaalwatkins.com. If you've never had a session with me or you've never used the coupon First 10, you can use it on one session for 10% off. And then if you want to really dive in, the Empower Me Now session is 33% off 9 sessions. So let's get started. All right. Thank you so much for being here. Have a beautiful rest of your night, and we'll talk soon.